A tall woman will enter the elevator, and you're not supposed to acknowledge her. You're not supposed to look at her directly, and you're not supposed to speak to her. Because if you do,
You're acknowledging that she exists.
there he is. Or what they say is that you enter a new dimension. Those are the rules. They didn't say I can't text about her.
Usually rules extend beyond.
Right? If she puts a face right here, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Woo!
Lucky Boys Podcast.
It is bizarro. But now that you mentioned it was a schizophrenia, I could see some of those symptoms being present and just by remembering what I saw in that footage. But what some other people were saying that she was playing, one that recently came up, was something called the elevator game. Have you heard of that?
No, that's new.
The elevator game, it originated, I believe, in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where you go into an elevator, and I believe it needs to have more than 10 floors. You go into the elevator, you press multiple buttons in a certain sequential order. And let's just say, and I'm just using numbers here, I could be off with the numbers, but you do have to press multiple numbers, and you do preferably do this in the evening because there's less people. It's supposed to be, the rule is supposed to be no one around. And when you go and press these numbers, let's say 2, 5, and 10, right? So it needs to have at least 10 floors. I know that, right? So you go 2, 5, and 10. And let's just say you're at the 10th floor, and then it goes down to the second floor. What I'm just using, I don't know the exact order, but this is the elevator game. And when you get to the 5th floor, once you hit it in this order, and you go up and down the elevator, once you get to the 5th floor, a woman, I believe with red eyes or something, a tall woman will enter the elevator. And you're not supposed to acknowledge her. You're not supposed to look at her directly. And you're not supposed to speak to her. Because if you do,
You're acknowledging that she exists.
you're in a world of shit. Now, a couple of things that can happen once this happens. Now, you have, if it works, if it doesn't work, then you just go out, get out the floor. Nothing's changed. But if it does work and you're successful in the elevator game, the theory is, on what they say, is that you enter a new dimension. You go to the 10th floor, you walk out the 10th floor, and you're the only one that exists in that dimension. Your phone will not work, nothing will work, but you'll be the only one. You'll be in that hotel, you'll move around and about, but you'll be the only one that exists.
That's freaky. Why would you want to be alone in a world yourself?
Bro, if I'm in the elevator and if it ever starts wilding out, man, I am...
It's pressing buttons, but it's highlighting itself? You're out of there.
Goosebumps. But I believe you're the one that's supposed to initiate the game.
Oh,
and it's supposed to be
quiet.
quiet.
So it's like a code.
Let's say you walk in an elevator.
Yeah.
What would you do? You walk in an elevator and then you see the buttons like 2, 5, and 10 pressed.
Mm.
You didn't press it, but it's already pressed, and you're not thinking anything. And the next thing you know,
You're stopping on those floors.
you stop on the 5th floor, and the next thing you know, a tall woman walks in. Bro,
And you never heard of this game before?
let's say you heard of it, but you just like whatever.
Yeah. Someone's playing a prank, right? Someone's playing a prank.
No, you wouldn't even think it's a prank. You just wouldn't even, because you wouldn't even think twice. You're like, what you would naturally think is like, some asshole pressed all the buttons before they left.
Right.
And then I wouldn't connect it to the elevator game. Mm-hmm. But then once a woman walks in,
yeah.
I am not, I'm like, la, 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 la. Yeah. I'm going on my cell phone. I'm texting everybody. I'm like, yo.
I'm in the elevator. If I don't get out.
Some woman just came in. Yo.
Well, if you're texting and then you actually say a woman, you're acknowledging her. So
no, but that's different. I'm not talking to her and I'm not looking at her. Those are the rules. They didn't say I can't text about her.
Usually rules extend beyond.
Right? If she puts a face right here, like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yo, you're in the midst of texting, right? Let me see your phone.
Oh my god.
Oh damn. I've never heard that the elevator game.
You would hear a grown man screaming.
Yo, wow.
So that's the elevator. So some people saying that she was playing the elevator game.
But the elevator wasn't moving.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't moving.
Yeah.
So, but then here's another thing people are saying, that part of the footage is cut off.
Oh, it skips, right, or something like that.
Yeah, it's like it's missing some time frames. For example, like just for example, it's not, but just say it goes from, you can see it's a 2-minute time code, and next thing you know, it's like 2:40.
Right. Yeah.
You know, something like that. Or even I think they smudged out some of the time codes too, where you can't really see it. So I wonder why they did that.
I think it was explained that like the footage that was out there in the YouTube land, it was actually posted by a journalist, but like the police say that's not the entire that's not the entire surveillance video.
I heard an argument like, oh no, stop trying to make shit up like it's something. You know, the reason it's cut off is because when she walked out the elevator, there wasn't anything there.
Right. Yeah.
And so they just basically cut off the empty parts.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they basically edited so you don't have to watch like a 20-minute video of nothing.
Yeah.
But what was freaky was towards like the end of the video when the elevator door finally closed. That was the last of her anyone's ever heard or seen of.
Yeah.
All evidence.